Yeah, I think what we learned is to deal with the speed. Architecture is, of course, a very slow discipline. In China, the speed of design is very intense.
We figured out very quickly that we could not design in Amsterdam for China, but we needed to set up a known design department here in China for China, which in the end grew to be twice as big as the office in Amsterdam.
And we always work together, and we still do when we work abroad, together with a local partner. We do the most in the beginning, they do the most in the end, but we still stay involved up to the last moment.
You should always work broader than your first question. So if you have the question for a design, if you work in different parts of the world, it never is just a design. It's always more than the design. The question is always much wider. And we think, and we see the same in Russia, that you have to address the wider question if you really want to have an impact.
I'm doing projects in Maastricht and Groningen now at the same time. And there's already cultural difference between those outer edges of the Netherlands.
I think you should consider the fact that the way we do things in the Netherlands is not always the best. I always thought that the Dutch way is the best way. That's not true.
When working internationally, of course there are some traps too. I'd say the biggest trap is probably language and culture in behavior. We have ideas about how we can solve problems, but if we don't understand the question somebody asks in his own environment, it may lead to a complete disaster. Fortunately, we don't have any example of that.
Don't be too eager. Really look who is your client and why do they want to work with you? What's your extra you can give them that they choose to work with you, or are they just using you?
We are really spoiled, I think, in the Netherlands. If I see with how many people we are working on relatively small projects, simple projects. The Netherlands is so small and we have too many professionals for every square kilometer in the Netherlands. So my only advice is step over the border and just go there.
If you feel you want to try your hand at a foreign market, just do it.